sounds of fame, and people talking seem to recall by money movement and songs that fall from the backing tape, a certain texture, that certain smell, the lying sweat of familiar sheets in the from finance beds in a room, no silent hardly makes a certain texture, that certain smell.
Okay, welcome to oztruckintv. We're out here today with Rod Hannifey with his truckright industry vehicle. What's the latest, Rod, on who you've had out in the truck with you, mate?
Well, mate, I suppose the one we got the most press and the most interest about was Brendan Nelson. Unfortunately, he was relieved of his position not long after his trip in the truck. Some people have said maybe others will be wary of coming following that thing. But look, he was interested enough. He said he was actually prompted by the shutdown that was in the middle of the year. We must be serious and there must be issues that we'd sort of even consider such an action. So he said he was happy to come for a ride in the truck. He came from Melbourne through to Dubbo. We had radio, press, TV in Melbourne and Albury and Dubbo, and I did quite a number of radio interviews following having him in the truck. And to be fair, I did ring after he lost his job and said my apologies, and he's keen to do another trip. So it's still got us a good bit of press, and I must say, having had him in the truck for 12 hours, when he was asked questions by media, I couldn't have scripted what he said better, so he obviously listened. He did say at one stage he tried to take notes, but he couldn't write, and then he said the notes he tried to take he couldn't even read, so said something about the ride of the truck.
Life on the highway in the passenger seat.
Yes, isn't it fun? Currently it only records vertically, but as of Monday afternoon, it will record vertically, sideways, and to and fro as well.
And I don't know what bitumen they do, what resealing they do, or what construction they've done. Yeah. On that bit of road, it's like failing. Yeah, it's failing.
I don't know why, but I know.
Who was your next person out in the truck there, Rod?
Next fellow was Gary Little. He's the CEO of Vic Roads. Met him at the Melbourne Truck Show in April, and I said to him at the time, I said, there's a serious bump just as you come off the Western Ring Road, I'd like you to have a look at fixing. And he said, oh yes, he said, we're waiting on the contractor to come back to us on that bump. And I said, well, if you're in the truck, I'm sure that you'd fix the bump and bill the contractor. Hit that with him. He did a phone interview at Albury, and then a written piece for Owner Driver magazine. And from that, he's now well aware of the blue reflector marking of informal parking bays. Thought that was a good idea, understood now what it was about and why it was there. Explained the need for shade. The trucks that we saw in the rest areas during the day were all around the side trying to get a bit of shade, and the design. And 2 weeks later, that bump was fixed. So you're going to keep... 2 weeks later, that bump was fixed. You're going to go. And so look, it was worthwhile having him in the truck. He said that one of the bumps that I hit on the Western, or the freeway, he said, look, I come out here in my car. He said, I don't really feel that. He said, being in the truck has given him some insight that he didn't have, and I honestly think it was very worthwhile. He was only in the truck from Melbourne to Albury because his authority ran out there, but I deliberately went into Albury, turned around and went back over the causeway and hit that, and his comment was, God, how long's that been like that? And
well, that one you're talking about, Rod, that they fixed and we went in the truck, yeah, I noticed coming around there a couple of weeks ago, I thought, gee, that's different. So a lot of blokes out there would probably appreciate it, and I'll thank you and I'll thank him.
Yeah, well, that leads into the next bloke, because I came out there then with the chairman of the NTC, and I said, round this corner there's this really bad bump, and we come straight round the corner, there's all this nice new bitumen and no bump. So, but it does prove having him in the truck has an immediate effect, so that was a good thing.
So how did that go with the NTC gentleman?
Mate, very good. He's new in the job, got a 3-year tenure. He travelled with me from Melbourne right through to Dubbo, so spent virtually 10 to 12 hours in the truck. If I'd have gone into the NTC for a meeting, I might have had him for an hour if I was lucky, but I had him in the truck for 12 hours and he couldn't escape. So look, he was very good to talk to. I did discuss that I do believe other drivers are frustrated that they're not getting heard, that they don't get their views up, and we did discuss consultation. The NTC says it's consulted with industry, but when they have a meeting in Melbourne, I'm in Brisbane, or they have one in Sydney and I'm in Melbourne, and we just can't afford a week off work to go to the meetings. And where I know a lot of their staff, and I've written submissions, I feel frustrated. So if I do, then a lot of other drivers do as well. And he said that the one thing they were concerned about is all these new regs, that whilst they have them at this level where they've designed them, they wanted to know, were they working at this level on the road? And I said, to do that you've got to talk to more drivers, you've got to give them a chance to give you input. And no, I think that was very productive and could be, you know, even more important in the longer term.
So you think he took a different approach away from your trip away then?
I honestly believe he did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a gentleman from the RTA in next week, so we can cover that off another day.
Yep.
But look, no, the people that have been in have been genuine, have said they learnt from it, and I get a feedback sheet. Each one that comes in the truck fills out a feedback sheet, and that's all been positive, saying that they've learnt something, that they've seen a different side, and that hopefully in the longer term they can help us make our job safer, and we can help them by giving that information to do it properly, and everybody gets a win out of it.
Alright Rod, well we'll look forward to talking to you again about your next traveller. The guys here at oztruckintv, mate, we support you 100%, and any time we can get some more feedback on the people that have been out in your rig, we'll put it up on the air.
Alright mate, thank you for that. Safe travelling to all out there.
Till next time.
Cheers mate.